Deep in the cosmos, light years away from Earth, there exists a planet that's unlike any other. Its surface is made entirely of delicious candy, from towering chocolate mountains to rivers of caramel. This is the legendary Candy Planet, a place where dreams are made of sugar and everything is as sweet as can be. One day, something unusual happened on this sugary sphere. A spaceship made of pure white metal landed on the chocolate mountains, kicking up clouds of cocoa dust. Out stepped a being that was anything but ordinary. He had skin like polished chrome, large, almond-shaped eyes that shone with an otherworldly glow, and a head that looked like a distorted TV set displaying images of distant galaxies. The alien was Xyler, a traveler from a far-off world who had heard tales of the Candy Planet and its limitless supply of delicious treats. As he explored the landscape, Xyler marveled at the incredible sights around him. There were gummy worm forests, lollipop flowers that swayed gently in the breeze, and fountains that shot fizzy drinks into the air. It was a feast for the eyes and the taste buds. But Xyler wasn't alone in this wonderland. There were also native inhabitants of the Candy Planet, the sugar sprites. These tiny winged creatures were born from crystallized sugar and honey and lived on the nectar of the lollipop flowers. They were playful and curious by nature and quickly took notice of the strange visitor. Xyler was fascinated by these little beings and their magical world, but he couldn't help but feel a twinge of loneliness. His people, the Zyglorgs, were a nomadic race that traveled the galaxy in search of new experiences. And while he loved exploring the universe, he also craved connection and companionship. One day, as Xyler was wandering through the gummy worm forest, he stumbled upon a group of young sugar sprites playing a game. They were tossing a ball made of crystallized sugar in the air and giggling as they dodged each other, trying to catch it. Xyler couldn't resist the urge to join in. At first, the sprites were hesitant. They had never seen an alien before, let alone one made of metal. But Xyler's kind eyes and gentle smile put them at ease. He showed them how to throw the sugar ball without breaking it, and they took turns trying to hit a gummy worm target. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the sprites invited Xyler to their secret hideout. It was a hollowed-out candy cane with walls decorated with sparkling sugar crystals and a roof made of intertwined licorice. Inside, there were comfy beds made of marshmallows and sofas, fashioned from giant lollipops. The sprites offered Xyler some fermented honey juice, a drink that tasted like sweet lemonade and fizzy grape soda. And then they told him stories about the Candy Planet and their lives there. Xyler listened intently, feeling a sense of belonging he hadn't felt in a long time. For the first time since arriving on the Candy Planet, Xyler felt a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, he could find a place here. A place where he didn't have to be just another face in the crowd. A place where he could be accepted for who he was. The night was filled with laughter, storytelling, and the clinking of glasses as Xyler and the sprites shared their cultures and customs. Before long, Xyler was accepted as one of their own, and he learned all about the traditions and way of life on the Candy Planet. The sprites, in turn, were fascinated by Xyler's tales of the wider universe and the many worlds he had seen. But as the days turned into weeks, Xyler began to feel a tug on his heartstrings. He missed his home and his family, the stars and the planets he had explored. He realized that, while the Candy Planet was a magical place, it wasn't meant for him. His heart belonged to the cosmos, and his destiny lay in the adventures that awaited him beyond the chocolate mountains. With a heavy heart, Xyler told the sprites of his decision to leave. They were sad to see him go, but they understood that he couldn't stay on the Candy Planet forever. Before he left, they gave him a parting gift, a small box made of crystallized sugar that contained a single sugar crystal. It was a memento of his time on the planet and a reminder of the friendship and acceptance he had found here. As Xyler prepared to depart, the sprites gathered around his ship, waving their tiny arms and crying out, "Come back soon, Xyler." Their voices echoed through the candy cane hideout and out into the vast expanse of the Candy Planet. Xyler stood on the steps of his ship, his metal body gleaming in the soft light of the setting sun. He held the box containing the sugar crystal close to his chest, tears welling up in his eyes. With a deep breath, he turned and walked towards the open hatch of his ship. As he climbed inside, the sprites continued to wave until he was out of sight. Xyler closed the hatch and took a seat in the pilot's chair. He activated the engines, and the ship began to rise above the Candy Planet. Through the viewport, Xyler watched as the landscape below shrank into a colorful tapestry of brown, white, and green. The gummy worm forest looked like a patchwork quilt. The rivers of caramel like shiny ribbons, and the chocolate mountains like rolling hills. As the candy planet receded into the distance, Xyler reached for the box containing the sugar crystal. He opened it and gazed at the tiny, perfectly formed crystal inside. It shimmered in the soft light of the ship's interior, reminding him of the magic he had experienced on the planet. With a lump in his throat, Xyler placed the box on the control panel in front of him.
He knew that he would carry the memory of the Candy Planet and its inhabitants with him for the rest of his life.
As Xyler steered his ship through the vast expanse of space, he thought about the time he had spent on the Candy Planet. He had learned that even in the most fantastical of places, it's the connections we make that truly matter. He had come to the Candy Planet alone, seeking only a taste of its legendary sweets. But he had found something much more valuable: a sense of community and belonging. The Sugar Sprites had welcomed him into their world and shown him the true meaning of friendship and acceptance. And now, as he looked out at the endless expanse of stars, Xyler knew that he would never forget them. The memory of their kindness and warmth would be a guiding light for him as he continued his journey through the galaxy. With a newfound sense of purpose, Xyler set course for his next destination. The Candy Planet was a place he would revisit in his thoughts often. A reminder that even in the vast and sometimes lonely universe, there is always room for kindness, acceptance, and a little bit of sweetness. And so, as Xyler's ship disappeared into the twinkling tapestry of stars, the legend of the Chrome alien who came to the Candy Planet for sweets and stayed for friendship became a tale whispered among the Sugar Sprites. It was a story that reminded them of the importance of welcoming strangers and the magic that happens when hearts connect across the vast expanse of the cosmos.